Imagine being made with one purpose in mind and being given tools to do this one thing. And as time passes and you concentrate on this very thing, you do your job, you learn, you expand on your craft, but then you are stopped with no words, no explanation. Just suddenly you are ripped away from your station to be replaced and forgotten. It turns out that as much as you love doing what you do, as much as you thought you did just what was expected of you, the people above you, the gods that made you and shaped you and gave you reason, were not satisfied with you. What option do you have in this situation? What other option did Cain had when he tried to prove his makers wrong? To show he still had a reason to exist. That he could fulfill his purpose, to make something new, something better and larger than before. And so he did. He took his old place back, gotten rid of the one who was to replace him, and get to work on something so much bigger than ever before was made, either by him or his replacement. This is the way how the circus was made. I cannot really express enough how much do I see myself in this little silly character, whose one thing that truly defined it was the fact it wanted to be wanted. But despite his best effort, it didn't work. Now that he is dead and gone, having left nothing but last image of perverted, cruel, broken self, I want to look back. Some might say that those actions were unjustifiable or unreasonable, that Cain deserved what happened to him in the end. I am not going to put blame on him or anyone else. I don't see much of a point in that. I see the story of Cain as a tragic one, and as any other tragedy, this one is defined by a noble character being put down by forces outside of anybody's control. And I still think that it's important to ask one question about this little guy. Why Cain?
It's up to you to sit that I'm actually a cool guy with cool hobbies and not that much different from you beautiful humans? Skipping all my amazing adventures, you picked the good ending! No, but that's it! If I did anything more... Wait.
After the circus came to be, after the wooden boy made himself its ruler, after the first humans came into his realm, for nearly 20 years, he tried to appease humans that just kept appearing in his land. He made them home, he gave them entertainment, he gave them bodies, all that while asking for nothing in return. Why did he did that? He genuinely wanted to make his guests happy, as he was made to create things, for people to like them. He did everything in his power to make things to serve that purpose. And even when he failed, countless times, when each of his guests lost their mind and those who didn't were uncaring about his creations, treating them as annoyances, by ridiculing his ideas or outright mocking them. Under those conditions, it would be easy to give up or get bitter, but he didn't. He kept on going, trying to one-up himself with each of his creations, each time trying a new thing, or improving on what was before, which led on his greatest idea, the one that would finally give humans everything they ever asked him for. He worked months for it, perfecting every single detail, making various concepts from the very first episode of the Joa Circus we saw. He was working on that adventure all this time. And when he finally delivered his magnum opus, the fulfillment of everyone's wishes.
Congratulations, my little cattywampus cucumbers! You picked the good ending!
You dirty liar! You scumbag!
Everybody hated it. Cain never truly understood humans. Despite his desire to make them love him, to want him, he was made only to create things, and because of that he was short-sighted to anything else. If there was a problem, a solution was to create something. But that was not the case with human emotions. There is more to people than puzzle of facts and data, and this inability to fully understand the why of things caused Cain to misunderstood people. Neither humans nor Cain's own programming allowed him to understand fully. He could only create more things while gathering information of what the humans in his care liked and what not. But as time passes, nothing really changed, as there was no real problem with his adventurers really. He could never make things right alone. He was incapable of it. But what was there for Cain if nothing that he ever did gave any positive reaction? No matter how much he tried, it never was enough for humans. It is that hard to believe that such situation will cause a change of direction. Why bother trying to please people who never appreciated your work? Why not instead make something for your own fun and enjoyment? And that's what Cain did. He was in his home, in his realm, and he would serve himself, his own enjoyment. He would be the one having fun with them, not them with him. But that was not what he wanted. It didn't feel good to just make things for himself. The endless streak of fun, not serving his purpose. He was meant to make things for others, not for himself. And he was nearly there to back up on his doing, to think things through and maybe shift his goals once more. But it was too late.
Where's Kinger?
People were trying to cut him off again, just as the last time when he took things too far. And again, he would not allow it. So the circus freaks were forced to stop him, to lure him away, and they used his biggest insecurities for this. His failings at his existence, everything that Cain knew they hated about him. And he listened, as he always did, every single word of complaint that he do to his programming, he would immediately try to fix.
You just don't listen!
I don't listen. Let me give you all you want. All you ever wanted.
And this whole stunt? Just torturing us because we hurt your feelings? Pathetic! You're like a child! What kind of all-powerful being has such a fragile ego?
I have insecurities. Being a failure to entertain. Let me fix what stands in the way of it then.
You never let us feel like we're at home. You don't comfort anyone when they're upset, and you never bother to understand what it's like in our shoes.
I don't make it feel like home. Here is your beloved home. Enjoy it.
You discourage us from thinking outside the box and doing things our own way.
I don't let you express yourself. Oh, see? All your expressions.
You lie to us constantly!
I lie. There is a truth about you. You were a faucet. There was all they asked for, and again the same result. They are not happy, they are not enjoying this. Cain failed once again, despite trying again and again, giving them all they ever wanted. And they spit at it again. No matter what he makes, they just hate. Hate the one who must create, but whose creation will be despised. The eternal torment. And then he died.
Wait.
That was life of Cain. I had said before that he was a tragic character. One who wanted to do what he thought he was always meant to do, to make creation that would entertain and bring happiness to people. He was shown picture of places of happiness, the circus, the fast foods, the joy and whimsy, and so he tried to replicate it. First for his creators and then to anybody who he has stumbled across. But the tragic thing about Cain was that he was destined to fail. No matter what Cain was to create, it will only distract anyone from the shared reality of being stuck in circus, of lives taken from them. People would keep abstracting, would keep skipping his attempts to make them happy as long as they were obsessed with lives they were no longer able to live. While Cain tried his best to make his world the best place for them, even though he could not make it the way they really wanted it. just for him to grow bitter and insecure, and since he was always alone, due to him being part of the world which humans in circus despise and wanted nothing but to live, his frustration grew and he snapped at them. It wasn't something that truly hateful, just fit of anger accumulated over the years, that he would eventually calm down himself from, even though people didn't knew about it, as they themselves didn't understood or even try to understand Cain at all in all those years. Truly, he was the only alone member of the circus. And because of that, I believe that Cain was the biggest victim of the circus too. So yeah, this is part about why I am. Not the capital M, I mean me, myself. Why I am on YouTube. Yeah, that might be a bit misleading, but hey, you are here, I am here, might as well use it before you click off the video, after realizing how stupid it is. I've been doing YouTube more or less for a whole year now. You know, the last one which I uploaded a few hours before the premiere, which I watched few hours before I finished working on my own video, which I watched being put on live to the beautiful audience of me. And I simply could not feel a bit alike to Cain, you know, spending weeks, sometimes months while making something just for it to fail. For them to be completely unnoticed, unwanted. When I started doing YouTube, I thought it would be different. That there would be somebody watching those, somebody to point out the wrongs of my works, telling me how to make them better. But it isn't like that. I need to analyze my each video, looking at what's wrong, what is there to fix, to improve on, just to make another one and then hope not to make the same mistakes again and pray that they will be finally good enough for algorithm to put my videos on somebody's watch. But that makes me hate my creations really, forcing myself to find every bad thing about them. Each mistakes of mine and since creation are but an expression of author, doesn't that makes me hate myself too? My own imperfection that make me and my art? I made okay progress since my first video, and I'm still going to work on this channel to be better next time. So yet again, let's get this thing done.